Welcome to Katie Bird's Nest. I'm Kate, and we are back. This is the Artist Way, recovering a sense of identity for week 2 check-in. And this is the points for week 2 were going sane, poisonous playmates, crazy makers, skepticism, and attention. Those are the points in the chapter 2 reading that Julia Cameron's book talks about. Basically, the takeaway was that we are in cahoots with our crazy makers. Now, I didn't really like that very much, so I fell off the wagon. I stopped doing morning pages for an entire week. I put the book down and walked away. I was like, what? No way. I don't think so. I'm not part of my crazy makers. My crazy makers are outside of me and they are doing this to me, and that's no. I don't think so. I was pissed when I read that chapter. I was pissed and I was kind of depressed, and I was like, this course is not for me. And that's part of why I didn't post these videos right away, because I wanted to get a couple of weeks into this 12-week course before I started posting videos to the world, and to see if I was actually going to do this course. And I got into week 2 and I was like, no, not me. And after a week went by, in week 2 where I had stopped doing morning pages and I, was self-pitying myself, and I kind of was like, well, week 1 went really well and the morning pages were actually helpful. And I thought, I am a writer and I want to be a published author. I've never really been able to get it done. And there were things in chapter 2's reading that really did resonate with me. There was a part in skepticism that said something about feeling too much like a fraud to handle some success. And that part really resonated with me because I do feel like that. I never wrote really that much in, fiction in high school or in college. I'm not an English major. I'm trying to write historical romance. I'm not a history major. I'm like, who am I to write this genre? Just because I like reading these types of books. What gives me the authority to write these kind of books? And I'm like, well, I do. I like reading these and I can learn how to do this. Anybody can learn how to do this. So why not me? And, but that censor from chapter 1 is like, no, you can't. And, chapter 1, I felt like I learned that I could affirm myself out of that. And I've got a lot of drafts got 14 partials that I think are reasonable, that I've had other people look at that have given me good criticism and thought that those stories had merit. And so I'm like, okay, there's something here. There's maybe not tons and tons of, fabulous talent, but there's something here to work with. I just need to sit down and hunker down and do it. And then the other thing in chapter 2 that stood out to me during my week of self-pity that kept kind of pulling me back towards getting back on the wagon of doing the 12-week course was in the section about attention. And it said, survival lies in sanity, and sanity lies in paying attention. And I thought, well, I need to pay attention to why I'm uncomfortable. Why do I have such a knee-jerk reaction to my crazy makers, and what is it about how I don't like that I'm part of the equation of the whole concept of why I'm involved in the crazy makers being part of the problem. I want to think that the crazy makers are at fault and that I don't have anything to do with it, that they are wrong. And I thought, okay, I need to do this course. And so I let myself have that week once I realized I was kind of just wallowing in my self-pity, and I thought, okay, I need to start doing the daily pages and reread chapter 2. So that's what I did. I reread chapter 2. I started doing the morning pages again. I worked on some of the exercises. I committed to an artist date. I went to the library. I got a library card in a different county system, and I checked out a book, and I went to Joann Fabrics and I bought some supplies because I made a planner, and it's actually up here. I made a paper dory. It's like a Midori traveler's notebook. I have other videos about my paper dory, but it has the little elastics, and I have a couple of other inserts that I made. But yeah, so I spent my week 2 being creative, and it was recovering a sense of identity, and part of my identity is being a creative person, and I was really drawn to this project during week 2, and so I didn't do any other writing besides my morning pages, but I did work significantly. I put a lot of time into making a paper dory, and I made 2. I made this one, which is the passport size, and then I made a bigger one, which is an A6 size. It's just a little bit bigger than this, and I don't have it because I wrapped it and I'm sending it off as a Christmas gift to a friend of mine. And yeah, I'm very proud of the gift that I'm giving and of this that I made for myself. And I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for this 12-week course. And for YouTube, because I was browsing YouTube videos for planners, because my other planner is this big behemoth. I have the Happy Planner that I use, trying to keep myself on track with writing. So week 2 was successful, even though it took me a week of it falling entirely off of the wagon and not writing morning pages at all, and then kind of just mentally picking myself back up after falling off and recommitting, to start anew with this 12-week course, and then starting again and rereading the chapter and telling myself, okay, I need to do the work, even if this is uncomfortable. I need to stick with this program and do the work of the course. And so not only did I make the paper dory, but I also started this YouTube channel, and I posted my videos for the paper dory and some hauls that I did, and then the Artist's Way check-ins. And that was part of recovering a sense of identity. This is who I am, and I'm putting it out here. So I hope you like my videos and give them a thumbs up and post some comments below, and I will reply. Thanks. I will see you next week for a week 3 check-in. This video makes me up to date. Right now I am in week 3. So next week I will give you my week 3 check-in. Thanks.